don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All right. It is Friday. And you're listening to Nichols Live, and I am Larry Nichols, or at least that's who I think I still am for the time being. Let me say, if you want to call in and be a part of the program today, the number is 501-499-6022. If you want to be a part of the program, 501-499-6022. If you want to text me a question or a comment, of course, the text number is 440-897-0611. That is 440-897-0611. And by the way, I haven't given it, but somebody asked me the other day, can you give out that listen-in line number again? Yes, I can. It is 401-283-6754. That is 401-283-6754. And when you get there, you press 1 for channel 1. Channel 1. Now I'm waiting to hear from Greg as to the audience. I just got it from him. And we're at 7738. All right. And we have Chad King on the line. Chad, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello.
How are you?
All right. Now, folks, the reason I've got Chad on is...
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. The reason I've got Chad on is because I'm telling you the numbers on the video, the sales numbers on the video, and they're not where we've got to have them to ensure that we get where we're needing to go. You know, this is all about, folks, in case any of you've lost track or lost your way, it's about saving the country. It's what we've got to do to try to save the country. And this video is the initial tool that you need to be able to do that. We should be, as of today, to be on track with the schedule that I had worked out over a year ago. And I'm talking about the schedule, not the video, but the schedule that we needed to be at. We should be right at between 500 and 600 per week. So we should be at, technically we ought to be at 500 or 600 today. Chad, what is the count today?
Total, you mean, right?
Yeah, the total.
322.
All right, we're 322, and we should be roughly at 1,000, figuring 500 a week times 2 weeks. 322. Pretty pathetic. Awfully pathetic. Especially when you look at it from the perspective of we've got right at 3 months until the election takes place. Now, for those of you that say, oh my gosh, we can't get where we got to go in 3 months, remember, this program does not end in 3 months. Do you hear me? This thing don't end in 3 months. Once Hillary, if she wins, I hope she does not, but if she wins, it'll be 30 to 45 days roughly from the day she gets sworn in. We need these numbers up. What, Chad, you found something interesting out. Before I whack at the people too bad, before I give y'all too hard of a time, Chad discovered something that is significant. First off, let me give y'all some points of reference. In the Revolutionary War, the actual people that participated in the war per the population of that day was less than 4%. Less than 4%. Now, Chad, give us some of the statistical information about the sales.
Okay, for instance, last Friday, there was 37 sales, and the amount of times the video was played is 96.
And what does that mean?
That means roughly 3 times, it was played 3 times per buyer.
All right, so you're telling me that when the people bought it, roughly all of them watched it 3 times as of this date, correct?
Yes.
Now, folks, that's in line for those of you that have bought it and have done that. For those of you in line, I mean, that's excellent. That's what you're supposed to do. I said that for those of you that bought it, that is in line with what you are to do with it. Remember, here are the rules. You get the video, watch it 3 times. 3 times. Then show it to at least twice a month. Show it to people. Try to get people to come to you twice a month and show it. Please. What else did you learn, Chad?
That the amount of trailers that were played was 764.
What day was that now?
Friday, August
All right,
5th.
now, guys, August the 5th, what he's talking about, the trailer. Those of you that have bought it know this. Those of you that have gone there and haven't bought it yet, you also know what I'm talking about. 765 or whatever the number was, people went to the site Friday and at least watched the trailer or part of it, correct, Chad?
Correct. Part of it.
That's all right. So they watched the trailer. And then
96,
after they what?
96 of those 764 finished it. By the way, I didn't tell you that earlier.
Yeah. All right. So
Go
say
ahead.
that again.
So
How many watched it? How many watched the trailer?
764 started watching it or watched it for at least 15 seconds. And then 96 finished watching the whole trailer. Trailer's about 48 seconds, I think. So, but the point is 764 people clicked on the trailer to watch it, and that's roughly 10% of the audience.
All right. So that many watched the trailer, and how many bought it?
37.
How many?
37.
All right. So folks, think about this. 700 and I'm just going to use round numbers. 750 went to the site Friday, watched the trailer. 750 at least watched the trailer. And then 37 bought it, correct?
Correct.
Now,
And they played it 96 times.
all right, so
you
37.
Know what? You know what?
What?
I'm sorry, Larry. I made a mistake. That 96 is not the trailers played. That's how many times the video was played. I apologize. 209 people finished the trailer.
All right. And folks, what this means is if you take 750, 10% of 750 is 75. 75. Now, I don't know what percent 37 is to 750. What would you say it is, Chad? You got a calculator on your phone?
5%.
What is it, 5%?
Yeah.
You understand that we have got more people participating out of this group. The good news, bad news is only 37 got it. The good news is that our percentage is greater than that of those that have participated in the Revolutionary War. And the other good news is of the people that got it, you did what you were supposed to do, which is to watch it 3 times, absorb it. Absorb it. Now, if y'all want to call in, this is Friday, call in. I've got a couple of announcements to make. This program is very hard to take calls because I only try to do an hour. I only do an hour. And so what I have asked Alden and Greg to do, Greg with Leading Edge Radio, and of course Alden producing the program, I have asked if we could do 2 hours next Friday. And on Friday, by doing a 2-hour program, we could take callers and callers would have more of a chance to talk. And so that's what we're going to do next Friday. So make your plans. We will start an hour ahead of when we start today. So in other words, for Central Time, instead of starting at 1, we'll start at noon. And Eastern Time, instead of starting at 2, we will start at 1. Okay? And you will be welcome to call. Welcome to call. You're welcome to call today. That's just what I think we can try so that you'll have a chance to do more calling. If I seem a little discombobulated today, it's because I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure that we've got to save this country now. I got a text from a listener, and I want to read this text. All right? I got 2. So here's the first one. Larry, I believe this is a great video, but I think this is a video of a solution that will take time to implement. It doesn't seem like anything that will keep, it doesn't seem like it's anything that will keep Hillary out of office. You got it? And let me answer that listener. This video with Chad as my witness, he's here. He was there, and Chad, you're welcome to tell the truth about anything anybody asks you. Matter of fact, I wish you would. This video was not set up. This video is not set up to defeat Hillary and keep her out of office. You understand that? Chad, did I ever tell you we were doing this video or ask you to do this video to stop Hillary from getting in office?
No.
No. No. The reason we did the video, the purpose of this video, ladies and gentlemen, is this video is designed to save our country. If she gets elected, it's designed to save our nation. If she's defeated and Trump wins, it's designed to save our nation. That's what it's for. You see, the way we're sitting right now, if Hillary wins the election over Donald Trump, if she wins the election today, we're done. We are done. Now, this video, as I have tried to tell y'all, if Hillary wins the election in November, she does not get sworn into office until January, I believe it, the 20th. I think that's it, some date, January the 20-something in January. When she signs it, virtually all we've got is 30 to 45 days. Do you understand that? She'll have everything she needs. Now you're wondering, how can this video stop her if she wins the election, right? I've told you, but I'm going to tell you again. In 1986, when we were working on this plan, and remember, back then it was just a joke. It was just something that could never happen. Bill would never get to be elected president because he was a hopeless womanizer, liar, all that stuff. We just didn't think with any reason that Bill Clinton would ever actually get to be president. And if he got to be president, there was very little way in reality one back then could think that you could let Bill serve 2 terms, wait a term, then Hillary would run, she'd win, and then she would appoint Bill to head up as UN ambassador to the UN, and then 6 months after that, she would make him, or he would become, because of what they've done through the Clinton Foundation, he would become Secretary General to the UN, and they would become the most powerful couple in the history of the world. That was pretty far-fetched back then. Hold on, caller, I'm coming to you. But when I was asked by Hillary back then, what would be the only thing that could strip them of this power once they achieved it, I finally had to tell her the truth, and that was states' rights. Caller, you're on. What you got, buddy? Or caller?
Yes, Larry, this is Michael from Tacoma.
Hello, Michael from Tacoma. Michael in Virginia.
Everybody's doing fine here. I just wanted to say 2 words to your listeners, and that is, first of all, Larry, as God wants it, we've got to be obedient to the law that's passed on to us. Okay, Larry, we can recognize you as a leader. Therefore, we have to learn to be obedient. In other words, to listen to what you're saying and put it into practice. It's something that is very important for everyone to be obedient. And that's what's wrong with America. We've stopped being obedient to our parents, obedient to lawful authority. That's the crisis. And we're not obedient to God and his laws. The second thing I want to say is sacrifice. It takes a sacrifice to be obedient. By that, I mean, I have to put my will aside and allow the will of that who is in charge and follow it. Do you understand? It's sacrifice, and it takes a sacrifice to be obedient. You got to die to yourself. And you're asking people to buy a video for $20. Now, I understand what you say about having compassion, but what about what we do with our money, little extra pocket money? I saw one man said that he used all of his change to buy it, and that's beautiful. But what about all of the food that we buy that's really a waste of time for ourselves, like a pizza and a Coke, or we go to a ball game and we buy this and we buy that? See, that's where we go wrong. We don't realize that it's all selfishness. We've got to die to ourselves so that America can come back alive. Those early revolutionaries of this country died to themselves and were willing to even give up their own personal life so that, being obedient to what God had in store for them, they were willing to sacrifice. That's what I want to say, Larry.
Well, thank you, Michael. But what do you think, Michael, you in Virginia, what do you think of me? You know, I'm sitting here and I've tried to develop a plan that when I did it, when Chad and I put this video together, there was no reality that Donald Trump might win. At that point in time, Chad, is it not safe to say that we figured pretty much back then that whoever the Republicans picked, that it'd be academic, Hillary would get it? Isn't that what we thought?
Yeah, we pretty much thought that. I mean, you actually said it didn't matter if Donald Trump or, I don't know, Daffy Duck or Snoopy or something like that. Popeye. When that was good.
All right. So now what I'm getting to, Michael, is this. This video, I believe to be a tool. This video is a plan that I was getting to when you called. I was there that day when I told Hillary the only thing that would stop her lust for power when she got in office was states' rights. I believe that.
Right.
I believed it then in 1986. I believe it today. Now, this video, Michael, is designed to stop her, if she gets elected, from reigning supreme on us.
Amen.
But here's my problem, Michael. We've got numbers that we've got to be at for it to be successful. And I feel let down, Michael, that more people in this audience right here have not gotten the video when I thought we were operating under an agreement, all of us together, was that if anybody had anything to stop Hillary, we need to know what it is. So, I mean, I thought we were working as a group, but as it turns out, a lot of people, Michael, aren't participating. They're not getting in and suiting up. And what does that mean? What does that do to me? I mean, my plan's worthless if we don't have people doing it.
Yeah, you stay confident in what you know, because what you know is the truth, and you're sharing it with us. The problem is, like I said, people don't know how to be obedient anymore. They don't obey the law. The law is LAW, listen, accept, and have the willpower to follow through. Law. Obey the law. Larry has laid out a law for us that is right there in our own law, the Constitution, and also a part of God's law, following proper authority. The second thing is sacrifice. It takes a sacrifice to set your will aside so that somebody else will take over in authority. And Larry, I know what you're like. You're not trying to lord it over us. You're not trying to be some kind of a hero. You already are a hero in God's eyes because of your sacrifice. So we are to follow your example. It says in the scriptures, be followers of me as I am of Larry. You are a follower of Christ, and if we follow you, are obedient to what you're giving us the image to follow, and are willing to sacrifice, we will have what you're saying we can have.
All right, Michael, thank you. And
okay, Larry.
Folks, thanks, Michael. Tell Virginia, hey. Look, guys, Alden, I'm sorry. Did you say we had a caller? I'm sorry, I didn't understand, Alden. All right.
Hello?
All right, folks, we got another caller, but let me just tell you all, I'm telling you, this plan will work if y'all will suit up and get in the game. Caller, go ahead. Yes, caller.
Yes, Mr. Nichols, I have a question for you. Yesterday, you knew Hillary Clinton, and you dealt with her daily. Did she ever have any lapses of memory, or was she ever confused when you worked with her? The reason I'm asking is yesterday there was a rally where she was at, and mid-sentence she totally forgot what she was saying, and there is a lot of talk of her having issues with memory, with balance, with being able to, remember what she said or keep track of her lies in her case. So I was wondering what your opinion is.
Let me tell you what I was involved with. Back in our day, when I was with Hillary every day, as you pointed out, nearly every day, Hillary has very poor eyesight. And in that day, she really had virtually no peripheral vision. You got it, guys? She had none, virtually none. So going up steps in standing on a stage was always nerve-wracking to Hillary. It was very nerve-wracking. Now, we did not have, in the days I was around her, to my memory, I never worked with her with a teleprompter. But I'll tell you what we had trouble with her giving a speech. Because of her poor eyesight, it was hard to keep her to where she could follow her speech. So you understand, caller, I can see what happened yesterday with Hillary being her trying to read the teleprompter, make a speech on a teleprompter. And because when she shifts from one teleprompter to another, you know, that little trick where they're looking at the audience on one side and then they look at the audience on the other, what they're doing there, caller, is they're going from one teleprompter to the other. Hillary has trouble when she flips to that other teleprompter being able to get back to the line that she was on the other teleprompter. You see what I'm kind of getting at? So I don't think, I don't know that I would buy in at this point. Me, not you, me. I don't know at this point that I'm beginning or would buy in to Hillary having memory problems when I see something like that. What I buy into is what I saw myself, which is she physically has a challenge doing that. It's just more the challenge of her. Now, having said that,
you don't think that. Okay.
Having said that, I will throw in one caveat to that. When she fell, like 6 months ago or whenever it was, and she had a concussion, I do not know medically what damage was done with that concussion. And you see a lot of times, caller, a lot of people, like football players that get a concussion, there are varying degrees of concussions. And, you know, you can get a bad enough concussion and it could cause brain damage for months after the event. So I don't know. That could be a function of it. It could be her vision, which is what I think it is. But here again, I'm not with her. It could be she's going through some form of the beginning stages of dementia or something to that effect. I don't know.
Right. Well, I appreciate you clearing that up because really there is nobody to ask that knew her before she had the fall and what her state of mind was back then or her health. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Well, thank you, hon. All right, Alden, we got another caller.
Sir.
I'm sorry. All right. So back to where I was at. Calls, you can call in 501-499-6022. You can call in. Greg, give me a count, please, if you can, if that's possible. I'd like to know where we are. Now, I got another one I want to read, but before I do that, I want to say thank you to Carla. Thank you, Miss Carla, 25. Ellie, thank you for 25. Thank you. Today is the day where we got to generate 800 folks. So please, if you can help through PayPal, it is nicholslive@aol.com. nicholslive@aol.com. But I want to see today how many of you listening right now will rally to the call that I'm asking? How many of you will rally to the call today and go to statesrights.video, statesrights.video, and get Revolution 2.0 and have it? How many of you will do that today? We need a rally today. I need you to do it. Chad, when they go to statesrights.video, tell them the process with that Vimeo thingy.
Well, if you don't already have an account with Vimeo, just like having an account with YouTube or whatever, just sign up and get the account, and then, you know, basically you're gonna then go. You're gonna then, you know, still be on our page. You should stay on our page once you've registered, and then click on purchase or buy now, and then it'll ask you for your credit card info or PayPal. and then
All right, but now, Chad,
as soon as you pay for it, you need to always understand that you go back to your video on demand page and press play. Now that you own it.
all right, now, Chad, I want one thing very clear. Folks, when you go to statesrights.video, somebody's mic is on and I hear it crunching and graveling. When you go to statesrights.video, when you get there, it will ask you to sign up to Vimeo, whatever it is. Now, Chad, they're not having to pay anything to do that, right? So you sign up for that. You're not buying anything.
Correct.
You're not buying anything. And then once you sign up to that, then, Chad, it will send you back to a page where you buy it. Is that what you're telling me? Hello, Chad. What?
Can you say that again, please?
All right, Chad, if you can, lose the headsets and talk in the phone because you're just almost impossible to understand. When they sign up and register through Vimeo, then do they do something that transfers them back to a page where they sign up to buy it using their credit card?
No, when they sign up, they don't use their credit card at all. Once they
do to buy the video.
then
To
they
buy
put
the
in their credit
video.
card.
Huh? All right, folks, we're just going to have to drop this on Chad until he gets his phone stuff worked out. But the point is, what you have to do, you go to Vimeo, you sign up for it. When you sign up for Vimeo, then you go back to the page to order the video, and there you hit buy. And when you hit the buy or purchase, buy now or purchase, when you hit that button, then it will ask for your credit card and stuff, and that's when you purchase it. All right, you got it? That's when that happens. Folks, the phone lines are open, 501-499-6022. Yeah, Chad, he had to cut you off because you're just way too noisy. We couldn't understand what you were saying. But you can call in, folks, and Chad will call back, I hope. You know, this is not a game, guys. Today is the day that we need a rally. We need you back on track. Back on track. We've got to get the people with the video. And let's not forget, what is the goal? Yesterday, I had a lady call in. And this lady that called in yesterday. All right, let me take Grant's call first. Grant, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Grant, thank you for all you do.
Hey, Larry. Oh, don't be thanking me. I'm thanking you. I just appreciate it so much, what you're doing and what your team's doing. And I'm thinking myself as part of the team, but
You bet.
I just really want to say how much I appreciate you and how much the video makes sense, and how much the power, is in our hands, to do something about it. So many people, so many people feel powerless at so many times during our lives about what they can do, and this video gives us something to do. So,
well, Grant, Grant, can I help you a little bit? And thank you for your kind words. But let's talk about exactly what you're saying. People feel helpless. They feel like there's nothing they can do. They're just, we're all just one person, one little person. What can we do? You get back to the mission of the video, Grant. Go back to the goal. What is our goal with this video? Grant, it's not to save the world. It's not, hey, you know what? The purpose of this video, actually, the goal of it is not to save the country. The purpose of the video, Grant, is to help us achieve our goal. And y'all know what our goal is. One person. Show the video to people. buy it. Some of those people, they'll buy it. They'll watch it 3 times. Then they'll show it to people twice a month. And what happens is we're looking for one person that might accidentally know somebody that knows somebody, Grant, that knows somebody that knows somebody that might be able to get this video in front of somebody that can help us get to the governor of a state. And all
Right.
we're trying to find is one governor, one state, and one issue.
Right.
That's what we're trying to find. One governor,
Right.
one state, one issue.
Right. Exactly.
And
All it takes is one. You know, all it takes is one prayer to change everything. All it takes is one person to get in the fight and to show the video, to spread, to spread the message, to get it into the right hands, Larry.
Yep. And you know what? We don't know who that person is, Grant. It may be somebody that you're showing the video to. It may be somebody that you show the video to that shows it to someone else. But guys, we got to find someone that can get us before a governor having to do with an issue that a state wants to do and the federal government's stopping them. And if we do that, Grant, if we do that, can y'all see the glorious day, what it will be like that day when we have a governor of a state of the United States of America, when one governor stands up in front of the cameras and says, you know what? What are the rules? We're told Congress shall make all laws. However, what history is showing us now, recent history, Congress simply recommends laws. And then they take it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court tells us what laws we can do or not. We're told that we have state governments, we have state legislators, governors, lieutenant governors, attorney generals, etc. Why do we pay for all of that? Why? Because you know what? What recent history is showing us, every day it is showing us we need to find out, Grant, who the one federal judge is that has purview over our state. And then just go to that judge and ask that judge if we can do something or not.
Right.
Think about it.
Right, exactly. Can I ask you a question about the North Carolina issue? Because I've actually not been able to get on the calls the last couple of days with work. But
yes, sir.
Are there any updates on what's going on in North Carolina besides the fact that they're trying to, I guess, take it to the Supreme Court still?
All right. What is actually going on in North Carolina? The governor there has, at this point, it's not final, but at this point, the governor has said, Grant, that he intends to follow the law. And therefore, he's submitting it on and going through with waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision. Now, I'm not trying to make the governor out to be wrong, but the governor is wrong. If he's truly following the law, Grant, if he is truly trying to say, okay, what we're going to do in North Carolina is we're simply going to follow the law. The law of the land, Grant, is the 10th Amendment. The law of the land is the 10th Amendment. And when he said what we're going to do is follow the law, what he should have followed up and said, which is that great press conference that I can't wait for us to get to hear, when a governor stands up and says, you know what, I know what the rules are apparently, but I'm going to go back to what the rules are supposed to be, and I'm going to follow the law. And under the letter of the law, under the 10th Amendment, states' rights, we, the people of North Carolina, have the power and are using the power this day. We're using the power this day to decide what we want to do ourselves. We will govern ourselves.
Right. Well, that'll be a great day. I tell you, I'm looking forward to it. Can we still call North Carolina at this point?
You bet you. You bet you
okay.
do. You bet you do.
All right.
And folks, when you
All
call
right.
North Carolina, if those good people, and they are good people, if they tell you, well, listen, here's what the governor has decided to do to go on through with Supreme Court, respectfully, I wish you would inform whoever it is you're talking to in North Carolina. Respectfully, please let them know. The problem is twofold. Number one, your governor has stated he's going to plans to follow the law. With the law of the land's 10th Amendment. 10th Amendment. All right. That is the law of the land, 10th Amendment. And then Grant, the next thing you will say to him that if it goes on through the Supreme Court, if that's the path he stays on, what's going to happen? The Supreme Court presently will be in a tie. And when it's tied, it'll be thrown back to the last court that touched it, which was the 4th District Court, and their ruling will stand, which therefore means there will be no law. Grant, we got
right.
other
That's
callers.
what I tried to tell him. Okay, I appreciate it. I just wanted to call in. I appreciate all you're doing, and have a blessed weekend. Thank you.
You too, Grant. Thank you so much. All right, folks, we're trying to hurry now, so every caller, when we get you up, please come on and state what you want to state. And I want to take this opportunity to say it is now 1:40. It's 1:42 my time, and we've gotten like $50 of the 800. So please, if you can help, please go to PayPal, Nichols Live at AOL.com. And then I just got this from PayPal. Sandra just sent 25. Thank you, Sandra. That's your Carla, Sandra, and Ellie's Emporium, Carla, and Grant. All right. Now the callers hung up. I didn't mean to miss that, but I did. I got this from a caller, from a listener. Would Mike Huckabee be a good help in promoting states' rights to Trump and the nation? No. Well, I take it back. Mike Huckabee might be, but somebody's got to get to him. I cannot get to Huckabee. If you can get to him, he knows my name. Tell him I'd like to talk to him, that I have an idea. I do not know his position, however. I do not know his position with Trump at this point. I got this from a listener. I'm glad you clarified that part. That part was not clear about Vimeo, so hopefully we did get that clarified. All right, we got a caller coming through. All right, caller, you're on the air. What you got?
Hey, Larry.
Yes.
Thanks for everything you're doing. This is Richard.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah, this is Richard. I thought about yesterday when I read your book, Genie is Out of the Bottle. I remembered you said we need a banner to rally around.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you for this video, because this video is the banner, man. It's the banner, man. It's what's keeping us together. Like one of your people said today on the show, they said the video is power. It's the power to do what we need to do. It gives us the power to get back in the game again.
Mm-hmm.
And do good things and win the country back. And I love this movement, man, because I'm part of this army, man. I'm part of this
you
army.
Are.
And you guys out there, you need the banner. You got to get the video. The video will be the banner you can rally around. And you aren't going to understand this movement completely until you scrape up $20. If you have a heart, whatever it takes to get it, I'd encourage you guys. If you got to go out and pick up some plastic bottles, man, do it. just to
All
get
right,
that
Richard.
$20, man.
All right, buddy, we've got to
I-
move on, but thank you. I mean it, Richard. Thank you. And Richard's reaching out and doing everything he can to get in the fight and to find where we can be effective. And Richard, stay the course, my friend. Are you still there, or did we lose Richard? Didn't mean to lose him. Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. I didn't mean to lose you. I was just jumping in to tell him who you are. Richard's in Hawaii. He's trying. He's trying. Guys, listen, all of you, get the video today. Today's the day to get the video, to rally around it. Rally around it. Like Richard said, make it the banner. The video is the banner. It's not, maybe you don't understand when he says it's the banner. It's not a banner, but it's the thing we gather around. This video can help us win our country back. This video can do it. But you got to get it. And you got to apply it. You got to try. Please try. Find us. Help us find that one person. That one person that gets us in contact with the one person that helps us get a governor and a state to stand up for the 10th Amendment, to stand up for states' rights. It was never meant to be in this land, guys. It was never meant to be in this land that there would be a governing body in Washington, D.C., or in England, or anywhere else. It was never meant to be that there would be a governing body that would rule us. Never. What was meant to be in this country was what's called a bottom-up form of government. That's where we, the people, we, the lowly people in this country, not the rich, not the elite, not the powerful, we, the lowly people in this country, we're the ones fighting every day to try to save this nation. Somebody keeps calling from area code 252. I think they're trying to call the program, but they're calling me. They're calling me. Now, maybe Dan in North Carolina, Dan Brown, if that's you, you're calling the number, not the program. But anyway, we've got 13 minutes. Call in if you're out there. If you've got something to say, call in. Call in today. It's about.
Larry,
Yes.
are you going to talk about the Governor Brewer's issue that got shot down, and about how it was,
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Chad, I want to tell you, I was talking to Chad, and I've talked to a couple of y'all out there that are part of this struggle with us. When you're telling somebody about states' rights, remember to say this when they tell you, oh, that won't work, or will that still work? I don't know that the states' rights stuff would work today. Do two things. Number one, I want you to tell them, well, it does still work, and I can prove it. And they'll go, how can you prove it? I'll say, well, or you should say, well, did you ever hear of Colorado? Colorado got together, put it on their ballot. They had their legislature ratify it, and the governor signed it. Colorado did, legalizing marijuana. They didn't technically legalize marijuana, but in reality, that's what they did. Colorado wanted to legalize marijuana. Whether you for it or you against it, doesn't matter. Colorado wanted to sell legally marijuana in Colorado. Well, guess what? It's against federal law. But you know what? Colorado's selling marijuana today. But there was another case that didn't have such a successful conclusion, and that's Arizona. You see, Arizona, this is the case you need to be sure and tell people as you're talking to them. You want the most incredible case having to do with states' rights? Here it is. It's Arizona. The people of Arizona got tired and are still tired of illegal immigrants running all over and taking over their state. So they got together, they got it put on the ballot. They passed what back then was called this horrible, terrible immigration law, illegal immigration law. They put it all together, and then they passed the law through the vote of the people. Then it went to the Arizona legislature. Guess what? The state legislature of Arizona, they ratified it, passed it and ratified it. Then it went to then Governor Jan Brewer, and she signed it. This incredibly tough, as it was called, this incredible tough illegal immigration law. Now, when Jan Brewer signed it, of course, immediately somebody filed it in federal court. You know what's shocking about this case? With me telling the staff for Governor Brewer, like we're doing with North Carolina, that's why I want you to remember this story. Like with North Carolina, we were calling and telling the staff people couldn't get to Miss Brewer, but we were getting to the staff, don't go to federal court. When her case, she had an attorney general that said, oh, yeah, proper thing to do is go to federal court. So they took up the offer to go to federal court. She goes, and instantly the law was ruled illegal. And that federal judge put a stay on it so they couldn't even implement it until it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. Well, here's what's crazy. Crazy. After all they did in Arizona to pass this incredibly hard and tough law on illegal immigration, he got it passed, and then one federal judge shut it down. You know what's crazy? You know what was in that bill? And you need to tell people you're talking to about this because of what was in that bill. What was in that bill, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona tough, super tough illegal immigration law that they passed, what it was in fact and indeed was exactly the federal law that is on the books now about illegal immigration. It was literally the law that is on the books right now. And what they did is they said, look, that's the law, but the federal government has been told not to enforce our illegal immigration law. And so the Border Patrol, all these people, ICE, none of them are enforcing it because they've been told not to. So what the state of Arizona said was, if they're not going to enforce it, at least we will enforce it at the state level by passing our own law, which is their law. It was the same law. The same law. So when you're telling somebody this story, you make sure they understand that all in the world Arizona did was just pass the law that's on the books for the federal government today, but the federal government's not enforcing it. So they just simply were saying they would do it then. They would enforce it. But the court, federal judges, they're so screwed up. They said it was illegal. Illegal. Can you believe it? Illegal. They're going to ruin us at every turn. At every turn we go through, they're running us. And when Hillary gets to be president, within 45, I'm going to give us a stretch. Let's say 60 days from the day she gets sworn into office, January, I think it's the 20th. 60 days from that day. I'm sorry, what, Alden? All right, 60 days, hold on, caller, 60 days from that date, she will have made sure we can't pass any states' rights laws at the state level. Go ahead, caller, are you there?
Yeah, Larry, good afternoon, it's Dan Brown.
Hey, Dan, was that you calling on the other line?
I was going to talk to you private, but I wasn't slick enough.
Okay. Well, I was on the air, so I couldn't get off and talk to you. What you got, Dan?
Got a call back last night from my district representative.
Great, I guess. Maybe I said
well,
great
her name
too
is
fast.
Pat McElraft. She called you last night. She wants to talk to you. She may be our way to get into the governor.
All right.
She's definitely a patriot. She believes in everything that we believe in. And I talked to her for about half an hour last night and mentioned your name, your program, and she said she'd definitely like to speak with you. I gave her your home phone number.
Great.
She said she called and left a message.
Oh, great. Well, that chance of me getting that in time. But it's hard for me at night, Dan, to get hold of me. I'm
and
sorry.
She also said that I can give you her phone number so I can call you back later if you'd like, for you to contact her.
All right. Well, right after the show, Daniel, if you will, call me. Or I tell you what, it's almost time for the program over now in 4 minutes. You can just hang on. All of them will keep you on. You can give me the number, and I'll call her.
All right, because she's on board with us, Larry. She's definitely a patriot. She invited me. They're opening a new Republican meeting house here in town, and on a week from tomorrow. So I'm going to go there. I don't know if the governor will be there or who's going to be there. I'm hoping to have a handful of videos to hand out, though.
Well, Chad is on the line with you right now, Dan. Chad, are you still there?
I have Chad's number. You want me to give him a holler?
You give Chad a number and let's see if there's not something we can do to get you at least some videos somehow before you go to that meeting, so you've got a few videos to hand out, hard videos to them instead of having them watch it, download it.
Sounds good. Listen, I'll give you a holler a little bit later on Pat's telephone number. She's somebody you should really talk to. She's interested. She's geared up. She's ready to go. And got good news from North Carolina, too.
What?
I mean,
tell me, I need to hear it. I'm sorry?
There's things you don't hear on the news. All these laws are passed, and then they put them down, and all these people were protesting, and companies weren't going to come here to North Carolina because of this LGBT thing. And
right.
She told me we had one of the best tourist seasons we've ever had. All the people that didn't come here was replaced by Christian organizations that have come here and spent their money. So all the stuff that they're showing on TV, there's good news behind all that.
Great. Well, so if I understand correctly, it's not over is what you're saying. Now, I know what the governor said was he's following the law, so that doesn't mean it's over, right? That doesn't mean it's done. It just means, as I understand what he has said, unless this lady that you're talking about and I can talk, somebody needs to get to him still yet today or tomorrow, whenever.
Yes. He's standing firm, Larry. There's some kind of a technicality he thinks he's going to swing through on, and that's the reason I told her you need to talk to Larry. And you can tell her things I can't tell her.
Right. And I'll be glad to tell her. And folks, I'll be glad to talk to all of you and tell any of you got, damn, we're out of time, buddy. I've got to call me right after the program if you don't mind.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Very good. And I'm going to tell you guys, I talked to Harry. I think it was last night, yesterday. I get all my days and stuff run together. But Harry, he's got a group, Joe. We've got Harry and Joel in a group in Oklahoma. They're working feverishly to get something to happen there. We can fix it, folks. We can win. But you got to try. You've got to help us. Good Lord willing, I'll be here Monday if I get the money for the treatment, number 1. Number 2, remember, schedule Monday to hang on an hour after our program. Pastor Ernie Sanders' program starts next Monday, this coming Monday, right after our program.
Land that I've heard of, one in a lullaby.